Well, hello and welcome to Galactic Wisdom. I am very happy today to have some of our regular audience members on the show with us. Hello, Laura, Karen, and Liz.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Well, isn't this fun? Usually you would be out there sending in comments at this time, but you're actually here in the studio with us. Now, I'm going to read out your bios, so I apologize if I'm focusing on that for a minute or two. Laura, would you like to wave so people know who you are?
Hi, guys.
Laura has experienced a UFO sighting, shadow figures, spirit apparitions, lucid dreaming premonitions, orbs, and empathic connections. Her goals are to further educate herself on the paranormal, extra-dimensional beings, extraterrestrial beings, and spiritual beings, and to utilize her gifts to enlighten others. Karen, would you like to give us a wave so people know who you are? Karen has had intuitive abilities since childhood, but it wasn't apparent to her until recently what these beautiful gifts were. As a newly certified Reiki master, she has been using the universal life force combined with meditation to perform healing to all life forms on Earth. She's a regular participant on Galactic Wisdom to help increase vibrational energies so that humanity can ascend. And Liz, I think we can all work out which one you are now, but you can wave if you want to. Learning about Andrea Perron and the Conjuring House through a horror movie travel channel on YouTube has brought Liz to this place now, sitting in the honored Galactic Wisdom guest seat. Liz has been a seeker for most of her life, and even more so since a paradigm shift in 2012. She has been influenced by friends who are seers and healers, and by some of the greats in the extranormal world, including Louise Hay, Sonia Choquette, I don't know if I'm saying that right, and Eckhart Tolle. Did I say those names correctly?
Good enough. Good enough.
Well, it's so wonderful to have you all here. Thank you so much for agreeing to be on this show. How are your days going so far?
Great. Awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah. Happy Friday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Now we're pre-recording this show just before Andrea goes live with her two shows. So we're going to try and finish off this on time so that you can all get out and watch her shows too. Now you've all attended some of my online events outside of the KGRA shows in my Galactic Wisdom Facebook group. Is that right?
Correct.
Yes. Yep.
Got it.
Fantastic. So the first question I would like to ask you is, have any of you experienced during any of the meditations, the events that I have hosted in those Zoom meetings based in the Galactic Wisdom Facebook group, have any of you experienced any psychic or spiritual or paranormal or alien phenomena during those events? I'm going to ask Laura first.
Yes, I definitely have. One of the things of meditation that has expanded for me is that alien, I want to say, contact. This last actual meditation that we did, I didn't really respond afterwards. Normally I do, but it impacted me greatly. It's when I saw the ship that I had seen. It was enormous. This ship, round shape, come into view. I was in space. We were doing our thing, and I saw this disc-shaped ship come into view. But it was so huge, and it was illuminated underneath. It looked metallic, but liquidy, so to speak. It impacted me greatly. And then the same four beings from a previous meditation that we had was present at that time, including the Premantis being, which I still have no clue the name. I don't, like you said last, I mean, I have one. I mean, I have a name. But yes,
Well, that is wonderful. Just to clarify for our audience, I hosted a session, a Zoom meeting, where we were all present. There was probably, I can't remember, about 10 people present probably. And I guided people through a meditation. I guided people through an astral projection and remote viewing of any non-human, excuse me, non-human beings that were out there. And it was during that meditative process that you were able to perceive, sounds like it was quite clear,
very clear.
those beings, and that ship rather. Have
Yeah.
you had any other experiences, Laura, during any of my...
Yes, I've had a dream. Well, I don't even want to call it a dream because it was just too real. It's like talking to you. I could physically reach my computer and feel it.
Mhm.
I was, I'm changing. I'm in a process of change and transformation. I truly am. Things are happening to me physically that making these changes. And in the process, during one of your meditations, you talked about healing, and you mentioned things, tuk-tuk. You mentioned tuk-tuk.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to further, because I have things happening with me, I wanted to heal. I wanted to open more. And so I visualized, before I went to sleep I meditated. And then during the dream, all of a sudden I realized I'm awake and I can't explain it, but there was this being beside me kneeling, but very, very small. And I knew it was touching my arm like this. There was 3 fingers and then one thumb, but it was touching me, gripping me like that. And I really, oh my God, the first thing I wanted to do was panic. And then it's, well, slow it down, bring it down, bring it down. And I reached and grabbed the hand and we held hands for a few moments. And then whoop, I woke up. And it was just as real as it could be. And that was another experience that I had with contact.
Whoa, that is fantastic. How about you, Karen? Have you had any experiences during any of my events?
I have. And so probably a couple months ago when we were doing the event, I did see some beings during the meditation. And this past Wednesday night, I did also see faces. A couple of other members were talking about some like black wispies or smoke. I also saw that as well. And I saw faces, like it was just rapidly changing across my vision, like 4 or 5 different faces. It kept just repeating really fast. The one face that I did recognize was that of a gray, just because they have a unique, most of them look very similar. Other times at Houghton Lake, when we were outside doing the calling in with, Andrea singing to them, and and then you did your thing. I saw probably 4 or 5 different craft that night in the sky, which is interesting. And I'm so glad that I did, because last year we were sitting out in our backyard having a fire, and my wife and my daughter saw a craft, just a light, just moving in the sky in a straight line. It would stop, then it would come back. And they're like pointing at it. And, don't you see it, Karen? Don't you see it? I'm like, I can't see it. So my wife took a picture of it. It looks like a triangle. And I'm like, gosh, why could I not see this? So, a few days later, actually, I was out in the yard. I think I was feeding the chickens or letting them out of their coop. And I just happened to look in the sky, and in daylight, it was between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. I looked up, and there was a shiny, bright object. And I stared at it. I'm like, that's got to be, a plane or a helicopter or a star maybe. So I just kept staring at it and it didn't move. So maybe that was the Galactic family saying, hi, here we are. And, I've had dreams of seeing a reptilian ship. And it was scary to me in the dream. And then another dream that I remember dreaming about two different beings, and they were wearing masks. I think they may have remembered that it scared me to see the ship. So they were wearing masks.
Mm.
And they were taking me on a tour across the ship, but everything looked familiar. It didn't look like a room full of, aliens and then a table that everybody's described. All the different rooms looked like a room, like in your in your house. So that was interesting.
Wow. Fantastic. Thank you very much. I'm going to ask the same question of Liz.
Yes, thank you for that. During the last meditation, and in all of the meditations, I've seen the swirling that have been described, like Karen was talking about, in most of our last meeting. But this time I saw, in addition to that, that's what it started out with swirling, and then a blue square, a rectangle. And then it resolved into three beings standing in front of me this way. And one of them was sparkling. And I've seen that sparkling before in my dreams. It looks like the Google dots that they have in some of their, but this was in a dark body. I think that one was a mantis. I saw another one over here. So that's three. It resolved and I started seeing more swirling. I saw something like one of the tall blue that looks like the grays shape.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it kind of disturbed me. I saw something that looked like a being with a skull, and then some sort of headdress going up like this, or ears, or part of the skull. It looked like the baddie from Independence Day.
Oh,
I don't. And it was like, well, I heard the name, and they're from Rigel, and I'm from Beetlejuice. Well, at one point in time, I don't know when, but their name was Chor Ho or Tor or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of spooked me because it was a little spooky looking. You had warned us, these people may come to us in a stern manner, and it was so cool.
Mm.
It was so cool.
Yeah, I think I'd explain to people a lot of these beings are, well, I think all of them are telepathic. That's how we're connecting with them.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them don't use their mouths at all. They're not like smiley. They're empathic. Everything happens. All communication of feeling, emotion happens psychically. And so sometimes you have these beings coming up to you, and they may be the most loving, benevolent beings, radiating warmth and radiating smiles at you, but physically they're like,
Yes.
they have serious expressions.
Yes.
They look kind of like people, but not people or humans, and it can be scary. And when you have somebody like a reptilian show up, who literally looks like some of the horror movie villains that we see, it can be a little unnerving. But I've never had any beings show up or appear who are not 100% friendly. So for the benefit of our audience right now, I want to explain: you can go outside, you can reach up, you can reach out into the sky, and you can ask these aliens, these non-human entities, to appear, to come in. And sometimes, very often, most of the time when I do it, they their craft will appear in the sky. They will come and be on the ground around you. But you don't have to do this outside. We sit in the comfort of our homes, just like we are now, and we meditate, and we have our eyes closed. But during that meditation, psychically, we can start to have psychic perceptions. I'm just going to ask this question to anybody that wants to answer. Does it seem fairly obvious to you that the perceptions you've described are somehow real psychic perceptions and not just imagination?
It does seem like a psychic perception, not my imagination. I mean, for a living, I utilize this imagination. It's how I get my information across to help others associate with what I'm trying to teach. So without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, this is psychic.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, fantastic. And wasn't it in the last meeting where Spirit Girl was perceiving beings around me? And was it you, Laura, that was also perceiving beings around me?
Yes, I didn't see them like she saw. I felt them. I felt the energy. I felt the number of beings. I felt it. And I proceed to, in the meditation, I saw the 3 fingers touch your right lobe here on your forehead, on the side. And I could see that they were working. Yeah. Working. Yeah. And I proceeded a word in that process. Continue.
And what did you interpret that word to mean?
A lot of things. I know that was directed to you. I don't know why and what for. I also know it was directed to me and Karen and several others in the group. What for? For the others, I don't know. For me, I do understand it. I think Karen kind of understands it too.
For me, it sounds like they're saying, keep doing what you're doing. Keep on the same path. It is interesting because I've had other people in my online meetings who have seen beings around me who touch my forehead. That is something that's happened before. And some people, when they see that happening, they see my aura expand out or change. And sometimes I will feel my muscles spasming in my forehead area. And I've come to understand, this has been happening for years. I've come to understand that that's my way of knowing that they are present and that they are touching me is when I have those spasms. And I only ever have those sort of muscle spasms when I'm doing alien contact events.
Interesting.
That is very interesting.
What they're doing is they are changing, enhancing my spiritual being. I have a job, I have a task, and you will maybe a part of that task now. Andrea certainly is. I think Bill is. People are being guided by these beings together in order to spread love, light, and happiness. And the most common message I receive from them is, we like what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. And that's why I'm here.
It makes sense. It does. It makes sense. I can't explain why it makes sense, but it does. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I agree, Laura.
You had something on the show. You actually mentioned that, in that they're bringing us together, was your words, to participate in the process of awakening. Yep. And I do believe that. I actually do believe that. I've come such a long way. from where I was to what, to be frank with you, this is really out there for me to truly come out in public and talk, because people are not receptive. There's a lot of folks out there that just look at you like you're crooked. What? You're crazy. Hey, you're out of your mind,
Mm-hmm.
But I have experienced so much strangeness that I know in here, there's this possibility that it's a possibility that what's going on, everyone may not be touched by it, but many are, and we're being pulled together to further this process.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I have some photos that you have sent to me, and I'm going to show one or two photos. And if one of your photos pops up, maybe you can explain what this photo is, and we will go ahead and see. Well, I think that photo is fairly self-explanatory. Karen, where was this?
This was at Houghton Lake, and I was so excited to meet you in person, Rupert. When Andrea had you on her show for the very first time, I could not take my eyes off of you. I'm just like, what is with this guy? Who is he? And I was so fascinated by that show. And when Andrea announced that you were going to be at Houghton Lake, I immediately bought tickets. I'm like, I've got to meet this guy. So.
Yeah.
You're so lucky, Karen. I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
I didn't know you at that stage.
No, you didn't.
So
you didn't know me.
When you sent me this photo, it was like, oh, we met. I'm sorry if that sounds bad, but yeah, my eyes are drawn to me. It's like, how scruffy was I looking? My goodness, I could have taken a bit more effort to over my appearance. But that was a fantastic event. Thank you.
It was.
How about this one?
Oh yes, oh my gosh, I was being bothered all night. I couldn't sleep. I could not go to sleep. And actually, this was after one of your meditations that I had participated in, and I just could not go to sleep to save myself. And it's funny how it's on the number 1111, that date that it was drawn to.
Oh.
Yeah. What this is I said, I can't sleep. I need to do something. And all I heard was draw. I get real dramatic when I do stuff, but yeah, draw. And so I sat up, picked up my note +10, and I started doodling. And when I started doodling, in my mind, I was thinking about all my meditations, everything that I actually see. So I put it all together. And this is what I see at times. This is separate stuff. But as I put it all together, it conformed exactly what we go through in our meditation, or at least what I go through in the meditation. The swirling a pattern that you see with the yellow and the pink and the purple. I see a lot of the purple. And I said that one time before about the swirling purple, but I see that. And I believe that's substance that we are actually physically going through with our spirit. And I believe that's what that represents.
Maybe Coretha.
Oh. I don't know. You're the first person when I've heard that word, the first time I've ever heard that word. So Coretha explain that to me. Explain that.
Yeah. As a scientist, I know that our three-dimensional realm, the elements around us, I mean, there are 118 elements that we have on our periodic table at the moment, and we have different words for them. There's matter, all these different elements, but we also have energy, which is something separate to matter. Yes, they can move backwards and forwards, but you might talk about a mug of coffee, and the coffee itself, that's the matter, and the heat, the temperature, the energy, that's something that is held within the matter. But whenever people talk about extra dimensional space, spiritual things, they only really tend to use the word energy to describe what something is. It is an energy. And as a scientist, I've come to realize, well, there's more. There is the stuff that our spirits are made out of, and then there's the energy that those spirits have. And there was no word for the stuff that spirits are made out of. So probably about 20 years ago, I decided I needed to make up a word. And the word was corether. Corether is the substance that our spirits are made out of, and it surrounds us like an atmosphere, an extra dimensional space, and we can utilize it, we can draw it in, nourish ourselves spiritually. But when we take our spiritual bodies to other places, or when we heal people, yes, we can move that corether around, but what is enabling that corether to move? It is the spiritual energy. So that was a long answer, but basically corether is the spiritual essence. It's like spiritual matter. And who knows, maybe there's a periodic table of spiritual, of corether out there. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Sometime for fun, in one of our meetings, we will you will repeat the periodic table after me. That's one of the bizarre fun things I like to do.
Can't wait.
Yes.
Let's try it now. Repeat after me. We're going to do the symbols only. The words take too long. Ha ha.
Ha, ha.
Yeah.
That's hydrogen and helium. Let's do the next period. Libeb kanofne.
Libet.
Libed kanafna.
Namgal sipskla.
Navgal.
Namda.
Kakasktiv krumnafekonikas nagagia sebrakra.
OMG.
I lost her. She couldn't cope with that.
Oh my God, what happened?
I'm sorry. I must be boring people. Hey, I need to remove that thing from the screen. Okay. So yeah, sorry, I'm a little bit strange at times. I went off at a tangent. Let's see what other I could carry on, but I think people get the point. So I'm going to bring that picture back up. Actually, when we do our universal love meditations, our spirits connect, and we fly through space. We picture ourselves above the earth. So that could be a universal love meditation. We also do similar things sometimes when we do manifestations, but we all come together and we hold hands as spirits.
Mm-hmm.
When we do that holding hands of spirits, how real is that for you? Do you feel that happening? Do you perceive it happening?
That's very real. I literally can feel. It feels like a physical hand in my hand. And when other beings join in, I feel them. I not always see them clearly with my mind's eye, but I do feel them. And there are times where when I visualize us in a circle and you ask us, let's join, and we start to join hands. Some of them move in between, literally, and grab hold. And when they grab a hold, when they hold the hand, I don't know if anybody else has felt this, but a very warm sensation begins to vibrate through me in the process. And I feel as though we are one, human and being, spirit, dimensional, whatever. I'm still learning, but we've become one in that very instant. And the energy is extraordinary. It's very powerful. And I know that in that instant, we're receiving their energy. We're healing, and we're also manifesting healing throughout the universe. I just feel it. I can't explain it any other way, but I do feel it.
It was awesome. Thank you. I'm going to move on and ask a question here because Liz, in your bio, you mentioned the Conjuring House. Are you a fan of horror movies in general?
I probably will never see that movie or any of them in that franchise. They scare me, but that's how I found Andrea, or she found me, and I found you and Laura and Karen. The Travel Channel horror movie people called Grim Life Collective start the video. They say, we're at the Conjuring House. Then Andrea comes up on the screen. And a wonderful interview. And one of the most profound things is she says, I'm glad to welcome you into my family. And it's all history. I've said it before. I've never been so happy just listening to the positive message. And she's real. Andrea's totally real. All of you are totally real. I mean, you have your foibles. Yeah. Okay, now I'll watch Beetlejuice. That's a real cool one. Ghostbusters. I'll do that. But no.
But you're never going to watch The Conjuring.
Have you?
I have watched all of the Conjuring movies. I was a fan before I met Andrea.
Oh.
Well, a fan. I like horror movies in general, so I had seen them all. But after meeting Andrea and telling my family about her, my mother came to visit. So I sat down with my mother and watched The Conjuring. And I was a little bit worried that it would be too scary. She was laughing all of the way through it.
That's a good fact. Yeah.
Some people just can't get into the horror of a horror movie.
I'm not a horror movie person. I'm not. I honestly have had negative and have seen something very bad that was trying to attack my husband. And I just know that those things are real too. Possession. I that's just me. It's something, and it's not an idea. Okay. It's not. There is a saying, be careful what you ask for. Be careful about going through the door, is the truth. Because our mind is very powerful. And once we wake it up, we are capable of some phenomenal things, just phenomenal. And watching something like that, I know that was not so real at all, but it just would, I'd end up sleeping with the light on or like every knock, what's that? No, I can't do it. No.
Yeah, I can understand that, certainly. I'm going to ask Karen a question. Karen, you work as a light worker, is that correct?
I do, and I'm still new to it. I met Andrea last year at Paracon. That's about an hour away from here, and I'm so thankful that I met her in person because everything has changed for me ever since I met her. I've started watching her shows. Now I watch them religiously. If I can't watch them on the night they air, I do watch them on recorded. And I've just started listening and realized I'm a light worker. She and also a psychic medium also led me to, doing more with healing. My elemental is earth. So I'm already, I love nature. Animals love me. I can't, not quite like you, Rupert, where, elk will come up to you, but dogs and cats and other animals, stray cats come to me. I don't know what it is about me, but so that's why I, studied Reiki, and I'm still learning. I use crystals in my healing. I just like to send healing energy, to friends, family, and since we've been meditating, Rupert, in Galactic Wisdom, I've been, sending love and healing to the entire earth, even to those that are not, compassionate and empathetic. But, maybe if we keep doing what we're doing, maybe they'll actually see the light. So, yeah. And then you sent me a video of What the Health.
Mm-hmm.
And I recommend everybody watching that. That really changed my perspective on products that I eat. I'm not 100% vegan because I've got people that live with me that don't want to do that. But I'm eating healthier. I love nature. Animals love me, and I'm very empathic. I can feel energy through a text, through a phone call, even through a video. Like Laura and I have this weird connection.
Oh boy.
So,
Go ahead, girl.
So,
Go ahead.
I mean, so being a light worker, I just want everybody to be happy, and I want to heal everything on the earth.
That is wonderful. Yeah, it's interesting thinking about animals. I mean, we're familiar with the idea of some animals being stronger than we are, some being faster, some having abilities that we don't, like being able to fly or swim underwater for long periods of time. But what is also true is that many animals are spiritually more perceptive than human beings are.
Yeah.
And I also have the experience of them knowing, many animals knowing my spiritual nature, my character, and feeling completely comfortable just walking up to me, wild animals. Laura, you're also quite empathic with animals and the environment. Is that correct?
Yes. I've had my whole life experiences, especially with animals. They just come up to me out of the blue. Strange animals. I have to be really cautious about that because some of them are wild animals that will just walk right up to me, and they're like, "Hey, how are you?" And like my own dog. Now I know this happens when you're with somebody for an amount of time, including an animal. You actually can hear their thoughts. You begin to connect. So everybody's capable of this connection. I can hear other people's animals or their pet. If I'm there long enough and somehow the pet really connects with me, I mean, I can literally go, "Hey, he's really mad at you. You didn't give him something today," but also environment. Now I'm learning that whenever there's a storm coming, I know by weather, there's a storm coming, but it affects me. It physically actually affects me. Now, here's one that was a topper for me on August 23rd, 2011. That's 12 years ago in Hampton Roads. We had a magnitude of 5.8 earthquake here.
Wow.
Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you where I'm at, but I was in the restroom and I was, and all of a sudden, now at the time I was on medicine and I thought, all of a sudden I go, oh, and I'm spinning, and I mean fast. I'm spinning super fast, and I almost fall. I'm hanging on. I get very ill, very sick, and I'm thinking, I've OD'd. Oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? And then just as fast as I'm spinning and I feel like I'm going to get sick and I'm starting to sweat, it stops. And then boom, 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 boom. I realized it's an earthquake. I experienced it before it happened. Now, I do know some people do that. So now I can't visit you in California. I'm too scared that I might feel like tremors out there.
I'll pay you to be a earthquake advanced warning system.
No.
But that's interesting you say that because, birds and animals have been known to react strangely prior to earthquakes. So maybe it's not all just physical. Maybe there is some kind of extra dimensional or spiritual stuff going on there.
Might be. I don't know. That was crazy. I did have a dog at the time, and he was acting strange majority of the day. I think this happened at 1:51 p.m. I went and looked it up to make sure I had it right. 1:51 p.m. And I remember he was a German Shepherd, and the whole day wouldn't come out of my room, really. He just would not come out of the room. And I should have known. I should have said something's not right because that's not his character. Okay. But yeah, that was my experience. Oh, I'm going to get you, Rupert. I'm going to get you. We're going on the mat, sir. We are going on the mat. You guys hear me, right?
We're going to spar sometime.
I want to see that.
We'll do a kata together. How about that?
We'll
you teach me one and I'll teach you one.
Okay. I'll teach you something simple like Heian Nidan. You probably know that already. Just for our audience who probably don't have a clue what's going on right now, we have this kind of running joke in our meetings that if people talk for too long, I shake my vitamin C bottle here. But I like to just sort of do it every once in a while just to see Laura's reaction, even if she
he imitated me last time. I look like a deer. Headlights.
You shook a bottle at me one time.
I sure did. You said I was naughty.
You impertinent person. That's okay. I forgive you.
Okay.
I have I asked you guys for to send me any questions in advance of this show that you might be interesting to topics of conversation to talk about. And I'm curious about this one question, Liz, here. I think it was you that asked, can you tell us about Ruth?
Oh, thank you for asking. I don't know who she is. But people say when I talk to them that I've introduced myself as Ruth. And this has happened 3 times, once in person. I worked in a call center, once in person, and this person argued with me that I said Ruth. Now, how does Liz sound like Ruth?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know. What do you guys think? Why would they think I'm saying Ruth?
Do you think that it maybe they're picking up on some kind of psychic link that you have with somebody called Ruth?
I don't know. What about you girls? You goyles? What do you think?
It sounds like they're getting a message. It sounds like, and is this not with the same people, correct? It's different individuals.
Yes.
Do you know these people?
No.
Okay.
Not in this life.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's what it sounds like to me. Sometimes people just walk by and say things, and I've done it to others. And I'm thinking, I know they don't know my nickname. How do they know that nickname? Because this person's passed, but they just out of the blue say it. Maybe they're perceiving, not with just the ear, but with the inside, the ear here, that name. That's what I'm picking up. Could be a possibility. Karen, what do you think?
I'm not sure. So people are calling you Ruth, saying that you said your name was Ruth?
Exactly, yeah. I'm thinking past life or something. I really, I was being a little coy there, but I wanted to see what you guys thought.
Sometimes keeping it real simple, and when I mean simple, you get your answer. You'll get an answer. You'll relax. If you relax and keep it very simple, don't think into it. Thinking into it makes your imagination. Well, this is how I do it. If I start thinking too much into it, all of a sudden I start imagining what ifs, what. I don't want to do that. I want to just relax, release, and then it'll happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, Liz, have you ever had any memories that you think, memories or dreams that you think maybe you're connecting with a previous life of yourself or anybody else?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, at least 3. Do I have time to say what they were?
Yeah.
Iron Age, Peru, and my partner and I were together there. 1940 Poland. My son and I were there, and that was a harsh time in U.S. history, well, Polish history. And then what I mentioned before about being in the Orion galaxy somewhere with Betelgeuse and Rigel. That's kind of hard for me to take because that star system is supposed to be kind of a warlike area, let's just say. Anyway, that's what I have.
So you have what seem to be memories or perceptions of being on in another constellation, in another region of this galaxy.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like what I was calling the Google dots, the bright white with the primary color dots.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that as being somewhere. It's kind of cool, but a little ashamed of being part of that. Like I said, the warlike area of the.
Well, there's a lot of people say a lot of things about the aliens, the non-human beings that are out there, and I think there are these stories that turn into beliefs, that turn into accepted wisdom. But I think we need to be very careful about accepting, well, anything as being true without proof.
Yeah.
I personally have not received proof of any of the beings out there being involved in wars. I might be wrong, but I don't think you have anything to be ashamed about.
Thank you.
Can you describe the appearance of the beings that you see in your memories?
Actually, the memory is just that I realize that I'm there. No beings.
Okay.
I just, except for that last meditation where the person said they were from Rigel, and they looked like the guy from Mystery Science Theater.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember the robot. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, it's been so fascinating listening to the experiences of you 3 ladies. Thank you so much for sharing those experiences. I'm interested to know what has it been like for you? Because usually you're on the outside, writing your comments away in the chats while the show is going on. What has it been like for you 3 being inside a show?
An honor, a great honor, a privilege too, a great privilege, and fun. Oh my God, I can't help it. It's fun. It's great to be in a safe place to share and to listen to everybody else. And, for me, it's educational because what you say, I put it back in the little file back here and I go, aha. Yeah, I'm not the only one. Okay, not crazy. Yeah, it's great.
I share the same sentiments as well. It's been fun. It's been interesting. I was kind of nervous all day long. But here we are. We got through it. This was fascinating and fun, and I would love to do it again.
Yeah, I love hearing what everyone says. It is just so cool. Yeah.
Well, I am so very grateful to all of you for being here. Just one last question, and people can answer me or not as you desire. Would you recommend to anybody watching this that you join our Galactic Wisdom Facebook group and join some of our online events?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. If you are wanting to seek any information that you, especially with your background, okay, that background, the other individuals that are coming here, the environment is controlled and safe. I highly recommend coming to this space. Come to Galactic Wisdom. You will be enlightened. You will be well educated, and you could take it or leave it. It's up to you how you perceive this information. And
Good.
I'm coming through.
Well,
no, seriously. I'm serious.
I give you permission to shake at me the next time we're in a meeting. Listen, we've run out of time. It has been a pleasure and an honor to have each of you on this show. Thank you so much. And I hope you, Laura, Liz, Karen, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evenings and you enjoy Andrea's show, which I'm sure you'll be watching after this. To my audience, to our audience members, thank you so much for being here and being part of our family. You all take care, everybody. Goodbye for now.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Bye.